Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We have our race coming up. Zelda 1 Metroid 1 combo randomizer community race with Antlers, Antlers, Dark Rupee, Sis Crusher, and Eat My Steel. Our flag set tonight is based on the idea of Metroid being parsed out into different connections that will be completely separate from each other, so you can't necessarily navigate from Brinstar to any other place in Metroid. So our runners will have to be finding those portals to Metroid. They're guaranteed to start in Zelda tonight. The Triforce requirements are 5 to 7 Triforces to enter level 9. We will be finding equipment everywhere but minor spots, so it can be in shops. Shops can't sell quest items. And any other interesting notes? The boss difficulty is set to completely random. It'll be consistent for the entire seed, but we won't know how augmented the bosses are going to be until we start seeing bosses show up. All right, Rithrin, if you need some help with tracking, let me know too, and I can pop into the tracker. But I would love to be able to just commentate without tracking for once. All right. Interestingly, Eat My Steel says needs sword, but all the runners will be starting with the wood sword tonight. Samus, on the other hand, will not be starting with any equipment or missiles. And it will require both totems to get into Torian tonight. Dark Rupee in this case is having trouble getting XSplit to start, but now it's started. So Dark Rupee needs to register so that we can get ready. As for how crazy the flags are tonight, they're not especially crazy compared to some of the stuff we've put together in the past. This one is, again, based on Disconnected, I believe, is the library flag set name. So the interesting bit about this is that the path through the game is going to be very labyrinthine. It is not possible for Zebes to connect with itself, so the runners are going to have to find ways to get into each of the distinct pieces of Zebes, which is Brinstar, Norfair, Kraid's hideout, and Ridley's hideout. All right. We've got our tracker in place. Very nice. Right. Zebes is the pronunciation from the Japanese. Zebesu. You may see our runners have different sprites, aside from Sis Crusher, who's running with Vanilla Link. Antlers will be playing as a Genie, and in Metroid, we'll be playing as Belmont, so Richter, I believe. Eat My Steel is playing as Samus in Zelda, and as Link in Metroid. Wow, I'm having a really hard time remembering the name of the game that's in this combo randomizer. And Dark Rupee is playing as a Dragon Head, I think? I don't know. I have a hard time discerning what that pixel collection is. And we're off. Also, our runners have a handicap start of 100 rupees and 8 bombs. Am I still finding, also Antlers finding, this looks like Brinstar? Yes. The entrance to Kraid's hideout. Looks like 3 of our runners are going to be exploring Metroid immediately, and Dark Rupee is going into Zelda, exploring Death Mountain with those 8 bombs. Antlers finds level 1 immediately. Okay, that's right across. Oh, wow. What an interesting path right into level 1 right from the start. A nice hint that if you don't wear your rings, as if you have a choice in this game, their power won't help you. I think that's a port over from the Oracle games where rings were a huge mechanic. Yeah, 3 of our runners taking a very identical path right now. Antlers leading the pack just slightly. Antlers is a very accomplished Zelda 1 player, one of the best in the world right now. And looks like they found the entrance to level 1. They'll be very interested to see where that entrance leads them. Dark Rupee has found the Take Any Road You Want, which is a very important shortcut to make your way through Hyrule. The dungeon shapes are the same in Z1M1, but the rooms are shuffled. In this case, only the minor rooms are shuffled. The treasure room, the boss room, and the Triforce room are all in the correct position, but all of the other rooms are shuffled. Looks like the exit to level 1 has dropped them off at the other end of Brinstar. Very interesting. So level 1 is connected to Brinstar in 2 ways. And it may entirely be that this is the only way to enter level 1 is in Brinstar. Our runners are probably going to be looking for any extraneous openings in dungeon walls, because they're very familiar with the dungeon shapes. So if there's an extra doorway that leads to a room that shouldn't be in a dungeon, it will be a portal to either to Metroid or to another dungeon. It is possible to have a door from level 1 into, say, level 7. All right, the sound kicked in for me now, so that's good. Yeah, we just got the game audio. Both Eat My Steel, Antlers taking on Aquamentus. A very quick fight, very easy boss. High jump boots for both Eat My Steel and Antlers. I'm sure Sis Crusher will be shortly behind. High jump boots are a minorly important progression item in Metroid when you don't have Morph Ball and Morph Ball bombs. They alone can unlock a few checks, but overall they aren't as critical as most other items in Metroid. Looks like Eat My Steel is going to give our first actual exploration of Metroid. The dreaded Ice Climb shaft. They don't have Ice Beam and they don't have Morph Ball, so there's no way for them to actually get up this this shaft here into the regular Brinstar area. So it looks like if they want to explore more of Brinstar, they're going to have to go out the front lobby of level 1. Dark Rupee finds Ridley's hideout. He's got 8 energy, so it's going to be very rough. Yeah, takes a death. Very quick recovery from that death, though. I need to take notes on how to recover from death that fast. The damage is randomized for both Zelda and Metroid for the amount of damage that enemies will do to you. In Metroid, that is set per area. So it looks like here in Ridley's hideout, they're doing 10 damage per contact, which is much less than vanilla, so it's a little safer here than usual. Another thing to note about our flag set tonight, our defensive and offensive items are set to appear later in both Zelda and Metroid. So in logic, they are more likely to appear later on in the solver for the way that the seed was constructed. Which, that's a bit technical. What it basically means is that we're probably not going to see offensive or defensive items early on in the game. Yep, Dark Ruby is also playing as Belmont in Metroid. Alright, there's Sis Crusher's high jump boots. Going to be acquired. Looks like Antlers found that take any road you want. My Steel went back into level 1. I wonder if he's going to... looks like he's going for the bow. Or the location that would have the bow in vanilla. Sis Crusher is, I believe, in a reward area. Alright, my Steel just has to clear out these Stelfos or block clip into the center. Looks like he's opting to clear out the easy and money-dropping Stelfos. Finds Wave Beam. So all that talk about not finding a offensive item, well, that broke that. Antler's finding one of his own kind patrolling and gets the hint that the 9th enemy has the bomb. For those who aren't familiar, the regular Zelda game has a mechanic wherein if you kill 10 enemies in a row without taking damage and kill the last one with a bomb, it will force it to drop a bomb. In this case, that number is randomized, and it has been randomized to 9. So if you're looking for a bomb drop, count how many enemies you're able to kill in a row without taking damage, and make the last one drop a bomb by bombing it. Eat my Steel either... Okay, did he take a death or did he up A? Dark Ruby finds a missile pack. The first missile pack is very important because it allows you to open missile doors. Although, the number of missiles required to open the door is random, somewhere between, I believe it's 3 and 7. It's a narrower band than it was in 2.0, 2.x. Antlers also finds Ridley's hideout. With high jump boots, he'll be able to make a check that Dark Ruby has not been able to make, which is right up here. Sis Crusher finds level 7 and finds the recorder. Level 7, he found the treasure room of level 7, which is pretty interesting because it's far north. Usually level 7 is blocked by ladder, bait. Speaking of bait, Antlers finds Long Beam, by the way. And an energy tank in the Triforce room for Sis Crusher. Ladder, bait, and there's one other item. Recorder? Yeah, recorder, because there's a Dig Dogger later in vanilla level 7. Dark Ruby dropping down to the bottom of Ridley's hideout into what we call the basement. There are, I believe, 2 item checks here that are important, along with a few minor checks. And minor checks could have upgrades like more energy tanks or bomb capacity upgrade. So they're not fruitless to check. But Dark Ruby is out of missiles and forced to pepper these, what are these, Holts? Yeah, Holts with a lot of shots just to do enough damage to kill them. Enemy HP has been randomized tonight, and it looks like these ones have come out on the tougher end of the spectrum. It looks like one-hit kill enemies are still one-hit kill, though. We see a compass in what has been termed the Nope spot by Dark Ruby. Antlers taking an intentional death to reset his position and life to the entrance of Ridley's hideout. Dark Ruby finds Triforce piece number 4 in the basement of Ridley's hideout. Eat My Steel also finding the Aquamentus in level 7. It's the exact same as the one that he killed in level 1. I'm gonna wager and say that this is not augmented terribly much. Finds his own bait. If he goes north, he'll find his recorder and an energy tank in the Triforce room. Level 7 is a very interesting case because all 3 important rooms are next to each other. However, there's also an upgrade spot in level 7 that you pay rupees to acquire an item. In tonight's flag set, that could contain an important item. Darkerby finds level 2, I believe, from Ridley's hideout. As does Antlers, actually. Level 2 is a great money dungeon. There are a lot of enemies that drop a lot of money, and they're very easy to kill, especially with a wooden sword. Specifically, these ropes that Antlers is fighting. Darkerby finds the Varia suit in the magical boomerang location. Very good advice here from that Scree in level 2. No one can make you inferior without your consent. Oh, and I love the chicken sprites. That's pretty wonderful. Cuckoos. Antlers nearing the end of level 2. Darkerby close behind. Eat my steel once again, traversing through level 7. And a miss from the Dodongo on Antler's side. Did Darkerby just pick up the blue candle? Oh, and I missed what the Dodongo dropped. There's the blue candle for Antlers. So I don't believe Darkerby picked it up, but he will soon. Blue candle is very, very important. It unlocks so many checks in the overworld of Zelda. Looks like Eat My Steel is being much more thorough about clearing level 7. Darkerby kills the Dodongo, gets just, I believe, a heart drop, and his blue candle. It's a very pink seed tonight between Antlers, Sis Crusher, and Darkerby screens. Anybody hungry for watermelon? Because that's what our color scheme is right now. I believe all of our important items have been found in level 2, since nothing important can appear in minor item spots. But it looks like Darkerby and Antlers are being a little more thorough in cleaning it out. They do want to check all of the walls to make sure that there aren't any other exits. Something that may be the only way to enter Kraid's hideout, as far as we know. So it pays to be thorough. Darkerby finds the lobby entrance, and it does indeed bring him to Norfair. Now, there's guaranteed, I believe, to be at least one other entrance to Norfair, which is the elevator from the bottom up. Unless that ends up being a deactivated elevator. Darkerby falls in the drink, has to do an up A, because he does not have high jump boots, nor does he have Morph Ball or Morph Ball bombs. Eat My Steel gets to explore in Brinstar on the other side of the level 1 exit. Antlers finds Triforce piece number 4 in the basement of Ridley's hideout. Darkerby finding a few of the drops in Norfair. Gumdrop hallway is significantly more disturbing now, with the hands, eyes, and bones. Sis Crusher finds Wave Beam in level 1. Antlers uncovers what I believe is a Triforce piece, because if it was a heart container, it would have been an instant fill. But instead it was a slow fill of his life, which I believe indicates it was a Triforce, and I didn't get to see what number it was, but that's under the Armos statue in Zelda. So basically, it looks like it was Triforce piece number 3. Number 3. And yes, Darkerby does have the Varia suit. I remember watching him pick that up. I believe, yeah, Antlers had it too, yep. Both of them picked it up in level 2. Antlers returns to level 1. Crusher, I believe, was intending to take that death. Darkerby having a heck of a time traversing here without the high jump boots to get him out of the lava. Haven't quite gotten to see how much damage they're doing here in Norfair. Is that... Oh, he's got Varia Suit. So Vanilla would have been about 10, I think. I think he took 5 damage from that contact. Again, a lot less than Vanilla. Antlers cleans out level 1, gets his Wave Beam. My Steel is exploring the top of Brinstar. This is a check that he can do easily with high jump boots, but also it's been populated with more platforms. Usually it's barren up here and a lot harder to get into that door. Darkerby climbing up the shaft in Norfair. We'll see how far he can actually get before he gets blocked. Here he is at a block that he cannot actually... Oh, he can if he times the hit from the Nova. Yes, if he's very careful, the damage boosting from the Nova can actually get him up there. I know because I've actually done it. That's what he's attempting to do right now. 7 damage, I stand corrected. Crusher goes to a take anyone you want and picks up another energy tank. Darkerby manages to take that hit, bounces him into the attic of Norfair. Now, this is a pretty item-dense area, so it was important for him to get up here. Unfortunately, without Morph Ball, he can't easily check everything. Morph Ball and Morph Ball bombs. And he's down to 13 energy, which is 2 hits. And he has no missiles, also, which he needs to open this door. Crusher has found the Warp Zone. Help him get around Hyrule. We really haven't seen a whole lot of overworld exploration yet. Antlers is rectifying that with his candle. Bank error in your favor. Deposit gains a key. Darkerby is confronted with yet another problem. I don't know if this jump is doable. If it is, it's pixel perfect. Or possibly another damage boost, but I'm not entirely sure. He can't even... He doesn't have enough room to climb up there. Oh, yes, he does. He actually does have enough room. I'll be very interested to see if he manages to pull this off. He's got 1 shot to actually take damage from this, to have it boost him into that area. Then he'll have to go out and get more life. He's flirting with disaster here. Crusher also making some overworld checks, but staying pretty close to those warp zones. And there's the spike. Darkerby cannot take another hit. Or he can intentionally take the hit and exit Norfair. Back to level 2. Antlers checking vanilla level 3 in the overworld. And My Steel has found the bow. Very important completion item, as you need the bow and the silver arrows to defeat Ganon in this game. The bow also allows you, well, not on its own. It does need to be paired with arrows. Right now, it has actually done absolutely nothing for Eat My Steel, but if he is to find the arrows, he can take out Goma. It's the only way to defeat Goma, which blocks at least 1 item in level 6, and could potentially block 2 more in level 8, depending on where they end up being, what their room ends up guarding. It really depends on the room shuffle and the layout of the dungeon. Crusher and, I believe, yep, Darkerby both exploring the Spectacle Rock area of Death Mountain. So that's apparently the entrance to Ridley's hideout up here. But Spectacle Rock itself is a money-making game. Antlers finds himself in Norfair. With the high jump boots, he's going to be able to explore those areas that Darkerby had to try to finagle. Unfortunately, does not have Morph Ball, so he cannot explore past that. Because of the way that those 2 areas connected with each other, normally you would be able to do a lava swim to get around the Morph Ball requirement, but those 2 rooms' seams happen to line up in just the right way to prevent that from being possible. Logic does account for that on the fly, so these randomly connected areas creating situations like that, the logic's able to determine whether that's possible to traverse or not. Which I think is a very, very cool and sophisticated feature of Z1M1. Darkerbeard now finding level 1 from the front, and Syscrusher picking up his long beam from the attic. I believe Antlers also had the long beam. Antlers finds the free wood arrow or wood sword cave. It just gives him a heart. Has entered Burn Row. So named for the 4 continuous screens that allow you to burn and reveal an entrance. Great place to go when you got your candle. Finds a potion shop. Darkerbeard exploring through level 1. Eat my steel in the overworld. In south area of Death Mountain. Syscrusher exploring through Norfair. Antlers has found level 8. Eat my steel takes a death. Pole's Voice without a bow and arrow are very hardy creatures. They're very difficult to destroy with Wood Sword. They take, I believe, 9 hits, and they don't like to hold still for those 9 hits. Looks like we have a reconstructed Blue Lagoon with Blue Lagoon enemies. Very quick block clip by Antlers, finds a skeleton key. Unfortunately, he'll have to dig quite a bit deeper into level 8 to get any of the other keys. Darkerbeard finds the Wave Beam in level 1. Emesiel clipping into the forest area, the Deadwood area of Hyrule. Using a nice screen clip to get there. Syscrusher finds himself in level 2. Pauses, takes stock of the situation. Emesiel, having the recorder, is able to check the lake, finds money-making game, which, not very impressive. Darkerbeard finding the Witch of level 1. Able to bring her down very quickly. We'll find his high jump boots here in the Triforce room. Antler says no to free missiles. Now equipped with high jump boots, Darkerbeard can try to explore a little bit deeper into Brinstar if he's so inclined, or not Brinstar, into Norfair if he is so inclined. Syscrusher got a nice fairy explosion there. Not that he needs it with full health already. Antlers is the first one to find level 5. Level 5 also has an upgrade spot, and he's only packing 28 rupees, so if he comes across that upgrade room, it's probably going to cost him more than he has on him. Of course, there's a chance that there's nothing significant that's on sale, so it may not be for nothing. Syscrusher picks up Varia suit. Emesiel lining up a nice screen wrap there to get through that laggy and difficult screen. Antlers forcing bomb drops off of the Dodongos by bombing once and then placing another bomb that explodes before they're able to eat it, which then stuns them. Stabbing them with the sword forces them to drop a bomb. Emesiel has found Ridley's hideout, I believe for the first time. Antlers does a nice clip into the transport staircase. The way transport staircases work in Z1M1 with the room shuffle on is that dungeons are usually still divided into the same number of discrete sections that they are in vanilla. So finding this transport staircase did allow Antlers to access another piece of the dungeon that he otherwise would not have been able to. And here we find the vanilla Olive Garden room, filled with Gibdos this time, a little bit easier to deal with than Darknuts, although he is on half a heart. I stand corrected, a heart and a half. Alright, what's Olive Garden serving today? Looks like it is a Dorito, number 2. Sis Crusher defeats the Dodongo, walks up to the blue candle. And a quick morph ball in the Triforce room of level 5. That's huge. Antlers has not been in level 7 yet, so he does not have the recorder to check Dig Dogger's item. But I'm assuming he's going to want to check the upgrade item before leaving level 5. Steel finds himself in level 2. Got a nice hint there. The lion, which is level 8, protects the arrows. I do not know if items are progressive in this seed. I'll have to double check that real quick. Give me one moment. For some reason, I'm not seeing where that option is, so... Ah, yes, all items are progressive. I found it finally. It's on the Zelda tab only, because Metroid doesn't have any progressive items. Antlers, I believe, is the only one to explore down in this starting area in vanilla Zelda. Finds a vanilla money-making game. And the start screen's Wood Sword Cave is a shop with energy tank and a heart container and a compass. Eat My Steel just defeats the Dodongo in level 2 and will be getting his blue candle momentarily. Sis Crusher, with high jump boots in tow, is able to explore the attic of Norfair more fully. Unfortunately, Dark Ruby's going to have to take a double dip there. First up is a heart container. Welcome sight. Next up is Dorito number 8. And third is the letter. The letter is more important than you would think. Potion shops in this seed can contain one extra item that can be absolutely anything. So because equipment can be available in shops in this seed, it is entirely possible that the potion shop is required, and the letter is a required item. Every potion shop will have a unique third item. A fair amount of time. Oh, we found a raft here up in the attic of Norfair, and a wooden boomerang, which Sis Crusher, I believe he tried to jump over it, but he did pick up the wooden boomerang. I was going to say that fairly often we also race with mixed progressive items, where we're not sure which sets of items are progressive and which aren't. Dark Ruby finds a potion lady. Looks like Dark Ruby also has Triforce piece number 3, as I saw from his pause screen. Eat My Steel and Sis Crusher both occupying the same space in different universes. And there's picks up some more missiles from, I believe, taking you in when you want. You might see my Steel pausing and checking a map feature here in Z1M1. It's a very cool, I believe Snarfblam designed the base map feature, and it's been expanded a little bit here for Z1M1. Very useful in room shuffle situations where you're not exactly sure where you are spatially because the room doesn't give you a very good clue. And this collects the Triforce piece number 5. Or, sorry, not Triforce piece number 5, the compass for number 5. Looks like Sis Crusher, with his 2 energy tanks, is able to explore quite a fair bit of Ridley's hideout, even though he's taking a bunch of damage as he does so. Picks up Triforce piece number 4. Antler's found his way into level 3, which is a pretty good dungeon to have early on. If any of you are speedrunner fans of vanilla Zelda, level 3 is the first level that is in the speedrun. Primarily because it's extremely accessible and because it gives you the raft. Duckerby picked up something, but I didn't get to see what it was. Ah, yeah, see, my Steel has no missiles at all. Antlers finds the power bracelet. We know one of the spots in the power bracelet quartet, let's say, is a take any road you want. My Steel picks up Triforce piece number 8 from the attic of Norfair. So the power bracelet will only unlock 3 unique item checks. My Steel also picks up the letter. Level 3 only has 3 important spots, which are the treasure room, the boss room, and the Triforce room. Antler's taking on Manhandla here. Healthy Manhandla, he's going to have to soften up the heads of the Manhandla to make sure that the bomb can destroy them. Looks like he's going to try to spread the damage around. Not able to get that top head, but it should be gone in one more bomb blast if he's able to... Oh, juked. Alright, that is a bomb capacity upgrade for Antlers. And looks like Ice Beam. So that's a trifecta of beams for Antlers. Intentional death to reset his life. Oh, Sis Crusher found his way into level 4. Now, normally, level 4 would be ladder blocked, but there is potential that that room that would be a block is shuffled away. Oh, unfortunately, the T room is one such room that blocks progression into level 4. And in logic, I believe, it doesn't consider that to be traversable. You can't go from the bottom area of the T room into the top one by game logic, because otherwise it would require you to do a ladder clip. That does mean that there is another entrance into level 4, and that will get you into the back half. But it also means that if one of our runners finds a ladder, they could jump in logic to an area that is normally accessible only through a different method. Decker be exploring the northeastern section of Hyrule, the Lost Hills area. Antler's murdering one of his own kind, or at least stabbing it around. Looks like Sis Crusher is checking out both raft islands. One of them was level 4. The one that's not normally level 4 was level 4. The other one was to take anyone you want, and he went with the E-Tank. Now, Syscrusher has at least 3 E-tanks now, unless he picked one up that I didn't see. It should be 3. So, that's plenty comfortable for most runners. Antlers finds level 6. Darkrupy picks up a flower. I believe that is a potion in his sprite set. And we find the other set of arrows is locked behind a heart requirement. So that was also the magic sword heart requirement. So heart containers are going to be at a premium in this seed. They're going to require anywhere from 10 to 14 heart containers to unlock the second set of arrows, the first one being in level 8, which I guess first is subjective, depends on who gets there first or how. Antler's already found the transport staircase in level 6, looks like. So he's going to be probably looking for a way to get into the Triforce room without having to fight Goma. But unfortunately, looks like he's going to have to at least go into Goma's room. If there's no door there is a door that way, he might be able to cycle around behind Goma. Syscrusher picking up a missile pack from a potion shop, as Eat My Steel explores level 2. Darkrupy's on that quest to acquire heart containers. I think he's in the lead right now with 7, with 7 heart containers. I believe that the thing that Darkrupy picked up was a potion. Tulips are potions for Darkrupy. Antlers was able to see the Triforce item of level 6 is the book. Since he already has a fire source, he's not likely to be interested in the book, even though in Z1M1 the book does prevent you from taking damage from fire. And now he finds the treasure room of level 6. Inside is Ridley's totem, which is required in this seed. We have disabled bridge skips, so there is no way to get into Torian without the requirements. Eat My Steel picks up Triforce piece number 4 from Ridley's basement. The coast item is another heart container. So when we have a ladder and we come back to the coast, we can get another heart container. Antlers is the first to find Kraid's hideout. Didn't get to see where that was. There's plenty of checks to be had here in Kraid's hideout. I wonder if Antlers is going to take a look at potential doorways to leave Ridley's hideout into maybe a dungeon. Although I think we've seen most dungeons. We've seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Yes, we've seen all the dungeons. Except for 9. I guess we haven't seen level 9. It is entirely possible that an entrance to level 9 is only in Zeba's. Darkrupy finds level 3. And we find a sword upgrade in a potion shop. So that's White Sword for Eat My Steel. No longer will he have to be known by the moniker Eat My Birch. RIP money for the door repair charge. Darkrupy really contemplating the meaning of level 3 here. And there's any key for Antlers. I'd say it was found early enough that it could make an impact. Usually around the halfway point, though, our runners have enough keys that any key isn't particularly helpful. Intentional Death. Eat My Steel exploring through Death Mountain, which I believe Darkrupy had done early on, finds the warp zone. I'm sure he's going to test where all of those go. Find the one that leads him to a power bracelet block, and then not be able to continue. Ah, no, he's able to get them all. this next one is going to lead him to the power bracelet blocked one, and he's going to find himself down by the shore. Well, by vanilla start anyway. Crusher finds his way into level 5. I don't know if I got to see the upgrade room of level 5. I'm pretty sure Antlers checked it, but I didn't get to see what it was. Antlers does not have Morph Ball bombs, but it is technically possible for him to pop himself into that little area, but it's very difficult. He decides not to waste his time trying to do that. It looks like Eat My Steel has another Triforce piece. It looks like Triforce piece number 3. Oh, yeah, it would make sense to have Dark Rupee having the chalices from Kid Icarus, which replenish your life. Antlers, without having the letter, stumbles wounded into the potion shop, is unable to contend with an Armos and takes a death, sending him all the way back to Death Mountain. Crusher getting through the mountain. He's into Olive Garden to get that tasty Dorito. Disposing of his bombs, well, he's got a handy one that he can just refill with right there. Antlers picks up a potion, and Crusher picks up Triforce piece number 2. And is about to discover, to his shock, arbitrary requirements much higher than he is able to provide. Dark Rupee's back in the game, and Eat My Steel has tagged out. I believe the bait that the tots that the Gorilla wants are here in level 7. That didn't really strike me until just now, but the bait is what Aquamantis drops, and it is deployed here in level 7, but I don't think it protects anything important, so it's not worth it to come drop off the tots. Antlers should know that this nose room that he's in is the transport staircase deeper into level 7. Surprised that he didn't take that, actually. Dark Rupee finding the power bracelet here in level 3. Antlers taking the right item, which was the right item. Steel found a wall that he can't get over without any high jump boots, or he does have high jump boots, without ice beam or without bombs. Crusher finds level 8. I wonder if he'll be able to go deeper into level 8. Dark Ruby finds a heart container on the floor in level 3. He's going to be very happy to collect that. We also just found level 9, which is at the top of the waterfall. Very surprised to see Dark Ruby leave the heart container on the floor. Very surprised. This is going to be required to beat the game, or at least enough heart containers are going to be required to beat the game. One thing I did notice here while I was glancing at Eat My Steel's map is that there is a door out of Norfair near the very depths, the very bottom of Norfair. Antlers does have ice beams, so he can freeze his way out of this little grotto he's found himself in and explore Brinstar, which I don't think he's been through yet. But he does need to get the enemies to cooperate. He might have to kill a few enemies to free up those locations, because I believe it's guaranteed that you get the same spawn pattern in that grouping if you have the free enemy slots. Dark Ruby finally picks up that heart container. Alright, Dark Ruby finds the Manhandla level 3, looking very grotesque. And when I say looking, I mean looking. And destroys Manhandla, picks up some bombs, and picks up the ice beam. You might still put in the candle to use in Burn Row. Every runner now has a candle. And that's where level 8 is the very end of Burn Row. Seal, I don't know if he knows that level 8 contain... Oh, level 8 is ladder blocked. Level 8 is very ladder blocked. I didn't see that until now. Oh, that's pretty cool, actually. I like that. Crusher finds the hole at the bottom of Norfair that he can't get through because... Or is that even the bottom? But he doesn't have Morph Ball bombs, so that would be very, very difficult, even with Ice Beam. Yes, there'll always be enough hearts to pick up the required, or they'll enough to pick up any of the, I mean, there's enough heart containers to completely fill out your entire life container, and the life, oh, okay, there's actually some explaining that does have to be done around that, I think. If you set the maximum heart containers lower than the requirement, then that requirement cannot be higher than the maximum amount of available heart containers. But in this case, we have not set the cap on heart containers any lower, so all heart containers are available. There are ways to render it unbeatable. As we saw last week, Eat My Steel was not able to get any more bombs and had no way of doing any damage in Zelda, so wasn't able to progress because all of the progression required him to do damage and he didn't have any way to do that. Mugger rooms are a second quest feature, so they're not in vanilla Zelda. But you do bring up an interesting point, and there's also always the possibility that Take Anyone You Want has a heart container that is ignored, and I think that is a way to render it unbeatable. I don't know for sure. Metal would have to confirm if there's any logic about heart containers that get passed up in Take Anyone You Want situations. Crusher has found his way into the attic of Lower Norfair. I believe it's the attic that he was in there. Either that or, no, that was Lower Norfair's screw attack room, I believe. Darker making some power bracelet checks, finds a shop. All right, just to confirm, Metal Machine has said that those are accounted for the heart containers, that if you leave those on the table, that cannot soft lock your game. I believe currently we're working on second quest implementation, so we don't have mugger rooms accounted for yet, or at least they're not implemented yet since second quest isn't supported. But I believe it was supported and accounted for in 2.x. Sis Crusher sitting on... oh, he just picked up Triforce piece number 3 from the Armos statue. I was going to say sitting on 4 Triforce pieces. Potentially leading the pack, even. Finds that sword upgrade, takes that sword upgrade, now has the white sword. Looks like Antlers is ready to take on Ridley. I mean, he has all the beam upgrades, so this shouldn't be too terrible. Interestingly, Ridley is not moving, so boss upgrade is apparently level 0. We have the easiest Ridley in the history of Z1M1. What a chump. Antlers, you cannot die to a stationary Ridley. Darkerpy took another KFC break, looks like. And there's Ridley down. And Antlers picks up 75 extra missile capacity, or we can call it chump change in this case. Steel defeats the Dodongo in level 5. Looks like he's doing some extra exploration. Antlers without bombs is doing the glitch to... Not really glitch, but it's certainly an exploit to get him into this next room. All for a missile upgrade, which he just got a big hefty chunk of missiles from Ridley himself, so it's just icing on the cake, really. Steel without a ladder is unable to continue exploring that direction. Still looking for... There we go. Olive Garden. Just has to get past the family, because they're here at Olive Garden. Doing it with the white sword certainly makes this a lot easier, 3-hitting the Gibdos. And there's Triforce piece number 2? Yes, number 2. Darkerby checked vanilla level 2 there. Didn't get to see what he found, but that check is made. Quick death for Darkerby here in level 6. Steel may have found his way over to the upgrade room here if he moves to the right. What do you got for sale? I can actually watch. The map for level 8. Crusher finds a potion shop that's also selling the heart container. Somewhat coincidentally. Steel picks up the Morph Ball from level 5. And with the recorder, was able to check the Dig Dogger item, but the Dig Dogger item is only a skeleton. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure what Antlers is doing in level 2. He might be grinding money. Judging by how he seems to be resetting level 2 and going to a rope room, I'm pretty sure that's what he's doing. He's grinding money in level 2. Cyst Crusher finds level 3. He's already been in level 3. I believe level 3 had the power. No, he didn't, because Power Bracelet is at level 3 and he didn't get that. Darkerby explores Ridley's hideout again. That is true. There's quite a bit to buy in this seed, including sword upgrades and including heart containers, which are necessary. So it's understandable to be grinding in level 2. Normally, one would probably try to find a nice sequence of rope rooms so we wouldn't have to keep traveling here, but alas. There's the Power Bracelet for Cyst Crusher. If he finishes out level 3, he'll get a bomb upgrade and Ice Beam. This is a really slow grinding method that Antlers is employing. Not sure I condone this strategy, but we'll see how well it pays off. Cyst Crusher taking on Manhandla. Does some damage to each of the heads, switches to the bombs. One head for the one. 2 heads for the second. And then the last head... No more bombs. Gonna have to do it the dirty way. Unfortunately, I believe he killed Manhandla the same frame he took the death. And even if he hadn't, he still wouldn't be able to cash in on Manhandla there because he hadn't left the room, which meant that it did not save that Manhandla had been defeated. From Hell's Heart, Manhandla stab at thee. Yeah, Darkerby is absolutely leading the pack in terms of heart containers, so that may be a factor when it comes to who can get the silver arrows first. We still haven't seen Ladder anywhere. Nor have we seen Magical Rod, but that's a much less important item in terms of progression. The Ladder has been blocking quite a few things, as have Morph Ball Bombs. The rest I don't believe are progression blocking. Round 2 for Cyst Crusher with Manhandla. Manages to damage all 4 heads with the first bomb. 3 bombs left, 2 heads left, 1 bomb. Makes all the difference. Full bomb refresh, plus some extra. Ice Beam. Well done. Oh, Antlers picked up the Morph Ball Bombs. I didn't get to see where those got picked up from, but that's pretty significant. Antlers now has complete full reign of Metroid. So though the areas are disconnected, each area can be fully explored. including areas in Kraid's hideout, which I think has gotten the least exposure. Oh, they were purchased at the waterfall. Oh man, no wonder he was grinding. Am I still taking on Manhandla? 5 bombs, 2 heads. Do the math. 2 bombs, 2 heads. That math didn't work out too well. 1 bomb, 2 heads. Well, one bomb, 1 head. Unfortunately, Manhandla is impervious to fire, so that gesture didn't mean anything. With a heart and a half, though, I understand his trepidation. Really wants to make this heart count. Dark Rupee's Belmont sees something interesting in the background. Eat My Steel defeats Manhandla. Collects Ice Beam. And vacates level 3. Or, no, decides to move around level 3, looks like. There's the heart container. Those are ever so important, if I haven't made that abundantly clear by... Sis Crusher finds level 6. Unfortunately, does not have the equipment to take out Goma. Looks like Antlers is back to the daily grind. Oh no, he's on his way out of level 2. To be fair, it looks like the grinding strategy would have been better if he had come in from the bottom of level 2. Oh, but I bet it's an elevator, isn't it? Oh, but he could just up A. Yeah, he absolutely could just up A there. So you'd only have to move 1 room to get a room with more ropes in it. Dark Rupee checks the attic of Ridley's hideout. Alright, there's the long beam for Dark Rupee completing his beam trifecta. And it's something that doesn't get mentioned terribly often because we all take it for granted at this point, but Z1M1 allows you to have wavy ice. In Vanilla Metroid, you were not allowed to have Ice Beam and Wave Beam at the same time, but now those upgrades stack, which is more in line with more modern Metroid games. Sis Crusher navigating around level 6, probably looking for the same sweet trick that Antlers was able to pull to get in behind Goma. Sis Crusher finds a hint that Antlers didn't find, which is not exactly a hint at all. Still, with 10 bombs, he can find his way around, which he did. Eat My Steel is also in level 6 along with Sis Crusher. Oh yeah, I almost feel like if you want to experience Zelda or Metroid 1 without a lot of the jank that is present in Vanilla Metroid 1, Z1M1's version of it is pretty solid. Alright, looks like Antlers skipped the boomerang and came in through the back to get the raft. The raft does allow access to level 4, but without the ladder, it's not going to be very profitable. I think it also gave access to a shop that sold heart containers, so that may end up being important. Dicker be doing some overworld checks. Sis Crusher finds the wand location having Ridley's hideout or Ridley's totem. As Antlers picks up Triforce piece number 8. In this seed, level 9 can only have optional equipment or lower. Also, Antlers picked up the letter, which we're finding is actually kind of important in this. Looks like he's taking an intentional death here. Gonna take a little bit. He's got Varius suit. And only taking 6 damage per hit here. Or 7. 6.5, I don't know. Level 6 takes its toll on Eat My Steel. It's a scary place without magic shield. Sis Crusher finds Kraid's hideout, the second person to do so. Dark Rupee finds his way into the main area of Brinstar. Now he has Ice Beam, so I think he can get into some more areas, but he doesn't have Morph Ball, which is a little surprising. So that's probably going to limit his exploration a fair amount. We might see a lower Norfair dive here from Antlers, which I'm not sure any of the other runners were able to pull off. Especially now that he's got Morph Ball bombs, he's able to get into lower Norfair past that that one configuration that required bombs to progress through. Of course, this screen's a little bit challenging if you don't have Ice Beam or High Jump boots, but with those in tow, Antlers makes it quite easy to get through. Looks like Dark Rupee found a another entrance to level 7 in Brinstar. That's one reason to be a little bit more thorough than I think our runners have been being in some of these dungeons, is making sure they can find all of those exits and entrances. I think part of the rationale for not exploring fully is that you know where the important items can be, and once you've made those checks, it's very easy to think that you're done then. I believe, Antlers is the first here to get Triforce piece number 6, so this is definitely new territory. Looks like Eat My Steel is going for the book. Got the book. Red Wizrobes do drop bombs, and if Eat My Steel completed level 3, he can hold another pack of bombs, so that might be one of his rationales here for destroying Wizrobes. Antlers jumping back into Norfair. I believe this is the way toward that one gate that I was talking about. Yes, here it is. And now Antlers can get through it. Unfortunately, the only thing it holds is a skeleton key. There's the Ridley Totem for Eat My Steel from level 6. Now, yeah, this is the thing that all of the runners have done so far is in level 6, they went to the treasure room and then they decided to leave. And now I really have to wonder, what if the entrance to maybe the backside of level 4 is only through level 6, and that backside of level 4 has the ladder? Because we still haven't seen level 4's boss room, treasure room, or Triforce room. So those could hold some pretty important treasures. Also, we have Sis Crusher going to the back half of level 8, finds the blue ring. Didn't see how he got into that back half of level 8, but that's a very important development here. We do know there is an arrow in level 8. With that, when we find that arrow, it will be no mode, I think. Oh, we don't know where Kraid's totem is, but it'll be a hunt for quest items at that point, because we'll have all of the required items for completing the game. Yeah, there's his entered Kraid's hideout. There's a few checks we haven't seen here, as well as defeating Kraid. We haven't seen anybody do that yet. My seal finds the ladder blocked area of level 4. It's a very sad area. Very sad tea room. Arrows are progressive, so it wouldn't be silver arrows. It would technically be wood arrows at this point. That's why it has the plus indicator, is to say that your arrows will go up by 1 level. But if a runner were to have wood arrows when they find those arrows, they technically would be silvers. Okay, I'm doing my best. Dark Rupee picking up the recorder from level 7. Can somebody type in the chat for our tracker, Rithrin, that Sis Crusher got the screw attack and Dark Rupee got the recorder? Awesome. Thing. Now, did Sis Crusher arrows? I didn't see arrows get picked up for Sis Crusher, but it's entirely possible. We do know they are in level 8. Sorry. Oh yeah, he was the one who also got screw attack. So. Okay, so he did get wood arrows, apparently. Looks like Sis Crusher found an ice climb hallway here in the very central shaft of Kraid's hideout. And that must have been the entrance to the backside of level 8, was that doorway in Kraid's hideout. So kudos to him for checking all of the walls, which is probably what he's doing here in the map right now. Antlers, in the meantime, is fighting Kraid. Does Sis have Ice Beam? Sis Crusher would have had to go to level 3. If he got, yeah, he went through level 3, so he definitely got Ice. Unless he was chased off by Manhandle, but I don't think that's the case. Eat My Steel just got the magic key. And there's having a pretty easy time here with Kraid. That's right, his AI isn't augmented or anything, so this is just vanilla Kraid, basically. Ho-hum. Sis Crusher warps to the Raft Island to go to the northeastern part of Hyrule. Antlers defeats Kraid, gets another 75 missiles. That's the rod, which is definitely not the worst thing to find. You can stack damage if you use the rod and the sword at the same frame, so they both do their damage at the same time. Dark Rupee's like Zelda sprites that aren't his character are from the Halloween update. I don't actually know what his character is. It looks like a dragon head of some sort. Sis Crusher finds the magical sword upgrade, which he's 33 rupees shy of being able to purchase. And I'm wondering if he's going to come back here and try to buy that when he gets enough, or if he's going to say, magic sword is a little bit too rich for my blood. I've got better things to do with my money. Well, evidently not that much better things, because he just bought an extra bomb pack when he was already holding 6, so I don't think he's too short on money here. Eat My Steel also found Kraid's hideout and is doing some work. Looks like Antlers found level 8, doing a swag block clip here. He already opened the path down, but even though he opened the path down, he just still needed a block clip. Free money? Free money for Eat My Steel. Antlers is exploring through level 8 here. Sis Crusher through level 7. Although I think Sis Crusher's already been through level 7. Because he's got the recorder, so... he shouldn't need to go through here. And there's the arrows. I finally saw Antlers pick up the wood arrows. Having a fight here with the four-headed Gleeok. Looks like he's just exclusively using the wand, not doing the damage stacking method. To be fair, it's a pretty tricky thing to pull off, and if you get the sword and not both, then it's going to be less worthwhile than using just the magic rod. Defeats Gleeok, gets the screw attack, has a full selection of items, has defeated both bosses in Metroid, so Metroid is essentially complete for Antlers aside from Mother Brain. I think Sis Crusher might be trying to find doorways in level 7. We still haven't seen the back half of level 4, and we're still missing some pretty key items. And there's not a lot of other locations to find those items, so it may be required to drop the bait off in level 7 after all, which Sis Crusher just did. Another thing I don't know if I've seen is the upgrade room of level 7. I don't know if that gets shuffled around, but if it hasn't, Sis Crusher has been where it should be. And if it has, then we really do need to hunt that one down. Here it is. You weren't followed? Let's make this quick. Does he want to pay 85 rupees, which is exactly as much as he has, for an undisclosed amount of rupees? It's basically money-making game. High-stakes money-making game. There is a chance that it is a large rupee cache that is more than 85 rupees, but that chance is pretty remote. So basically money-making game. Eat My Steel apparently just had the same exploration right now. And there's... you weren't followed? Let's make this quick. Still collecting heart containers for all of our runners because those arrows are pretty necessary. 2 of our runners have arrows but no bow, 1 of our runners has a bow but no arrows, and 1 of our runner only knows where one of the arrow upgrades is, but can't get it. But does find the bow here in Brinstar. Dark was just at a wall that you need Morph Ball and Morph Ball bombs to get through. Sis Crusher finds the Morph Ball bombs on sale for a fair bit more than he has available. Rather unfortunate. Definitely a money grinding seed. Darkerby gets to check the top of Brinstar now. Sis Crusher wanders into level 9. I don't believe he has 5 Triforce pieces, which is the first magic number that he could try with. Eat My Steel finds that sword upgrade, and still doesn't have enough money for it. Also doesn't have Morph Ball bombs, so he might want to save that. It's almost... oh, also Darkerby finds Triforce piece number 1 here at the top of Brinstar. I wouldn't be surprised if he's not the only one who found that, because I do know somebody else went up there, and I don't know why they wouldn't be able to pick up the Triforce piece. I'll have to check when people pause in Zelda to see if anybody has Triforce piece number 1. If anybody else wants to look out for it, in the Triforce diagram, it is the very top left piece. The left piece of the very top. Mestiel finds the morph ball bombs now, and is probably going to be saving his money for that as well. Dark Ruby's really held up on not having Morph Ball. That was in level 5's Triforce room, so hopefully he's able to get that soon. And there's going to work in Norfair here. I'm actually a little surprised we haven't seen this a little earlier. Unfortunately, in this scene, you can't say no to money, so... Looks like Sis Crusher might be re-evaluating where to go as well. Antlers has just uncovered a very difficult bomb jump. Anything where you have to move horizontally as well as vertically is a fair bit more challenging. But he makes it pretty easily. Does get harassed by the popcorn machine on the other side of the fence, though. Yeah, I think we're going to see some checks here in Norfair that I don't think anybody else has done. Maybe we'll find the ladder here. Maybe we'll find the crane totem here. Anything's possible. Maybe we'll find heart containers. Or just a key that he can't even make use of since he already has the any key. Duggarby opening up the bush to level 8. Exits immediately. Interesting. Looks like we're doing a bit of a potion shop tour. You never know, maybe the potion shop has the ladder. I think Antlers is still doing a few novel checks in Norfair here. You can tell that he's probably running out of ideas, though. Norfair is not a pleasant place to go. Sis Crusher is probably grinding money in level 2. It may be possible he's doing this in a bit of a... I would consider it smarter way than Antlers, depending on where he sets his spawn point and which rooms. Really, the best way to do this is if he goes to the left from this room, which it looks like he's doing. Oh, I'm wrong. Never mind. There's just plenty of ropes in this area, so he's got quite a few options available. No, he's still coming in from that side entrance. I definitely would come in from the bottom since you don't have to traverse as many rooms to get into the thick rope room where there are many ropes to harvest. But I'm backseat gaming from the commentator booth, so that doesn't mean a whole lot. Mestiel does get the right spawn pattern to be able to freeze his way out of Lower Brinstar here and out of the crane elevator entrance area. That is, if he can manage to freeze the waver, yes, at the very top of its jump. Now he just needs to land right where he did, and he's out of there. I don't know if we've seen a Morph Ball pedestal check. We definitely haven't seen a Morph Ball pedestal check. And we're not going to see it right now unless Steel manages to freeze that one enemy that he killed in the right height. But that's quite a tall order, so I wouldn't blame him for giving up on that. That's necessary, except for when you have Morph Ball bombs, it's a little easier. But it's still, it's something that is the only way to get in there is through that area. So whatever's on Morph Ball pedestal, it's possible that only Morph Ball bombs will get you there through logic. We found that the magical shield is stuck in the ceiling by watching Eat My Steel's exploration there. Dark Rupee's here in level 4, where you need a ladder to get anywhere important, but he's here anyway. I really think it's going to come down to finding the right entrance into level 4, because logic would not expect somebody to need a ladder clip to get into the deeper part of level 4. And I'm increasingly getting convinced that there is something very important in level 4. Antlers does pick up the Zelda compass, though Room Shuffle should not have placed Zelda anywhere special, so it doesn't particularly help. It's a nice chunk of change. Maybe he's going to put that to use. I think he knows where a few upgrades are that he might be looking at buying. When did Dark Rupee pick up the ladder? Because he has the ladder and he's using it right now. He's trying to do a double ladder clip, it looks like. And there he goes. He's in deep to level 4. I don't know where he picked it up, but all right. Sis Crusher purchases Morph Ball bombs right now. Ah, the long beam Chozo. Okay. Oh, my steel just picked it up. You would think that would have been checked much earlier, but with the room rando, I guess the requirements to get there were a lot more stringent. Antlers is heading deep into level 4 too. This is his first time. The door's still locked, so yeah, he hasn't seen the horror. Dark Rupee is here in the room that leads to the treasure room. So we'll get to see what the raft item is. Or, sorry, the stepladder item is. It's a red potion. There's still the Gleeok and Triforce piece rooms, though. Looks like he drained the potion that he already had in order to pick up another one. Although, in Z1M1, you can stack potions up to 4 times as opposed to vanilla behavior, where you can only stack it 2. Sis Crusher's doing a bit of extra exploration in Ridley's hideout now that he has Morph Ball bombs? Question mark? I think he bought Morph Ball bombs. Yeah, he definitely bought Morph Ball bombs. There's no way he could have gotten over here otherwise. And Dark Rupee is coming up on the end of level 4. Looks like he's looking for a back way into the Triforce, or he's looking for extra. There's the extra room. The door on the left here should not exist, so it leads somewhere fun. Oh wow, Sis Crusher found. I didn't notice this before if anybody else was here, but he found basically a one-way situation in Ridley's hideout, where you can only roll out of a tunnel with a morph ball, but not roll back into it because that lava changes your physics enough to make it impossible for you to actually bomb jump into that hole. Darkerby being quite thorough in his cleansing of level 4. I don't know what that is. That's way too blurry. What the hell? I don't know what he just picked up. But here's the Gleeok boss. If anybody knows what he picked up, do let us know. And there's another thing that's very hard to discern. I think that was Triforce Piece 5. Okay, so we at least got that. I don't know what was in the Triforce room. Sis Crusher's taking on Ridley. Did Antlers get the bow from Brinstar? Because I don't know why else he would be back here in level 6 unless he had the bow. And in fact, I think I saw him when he was switching through his items go over an arrow, so... Real quick, probably gonna find... No? I don't know, I'm very confused. I want to see if he has the bow. Crusher really putting in the work here against Ridley. It's actually taking longer than I think he would if Ridley was actually moving around. Those projectiles are getting in the way, making it very difficult to destroy Ridley. And as I say that, he finishes off Ridley. Darkerby collects the Coast Heart Container. He's now in range of... No, he still needs one more Heart Container before he's in range of potentially being able to collect the silver arrows. Or for him, I guess it's the wood arrows. Does look like Antler's being a little more thorough in clearing out level 6 now. Fighting what would have been the Gleeok of Shame in Vanilla. There's usually no reason to defeat the 3-headed Gleeok in Vanilla level 6. Antlers avoids the magical shield, very nearly walks into it, but he saves himself from the fate of carrying that extra burden. Darkerby purchases a sword upgrade, so that leaves Antlers the only one working off of wood sword. Sis Crusher finds his way to the ice climb. I wonder how he's going to tackle this. He did freeze the second Ripper in the in a later... No, okay. I thought he was going to stand on the frozen Ripper, wait for the waver to thaw, but that was not how it played out. I definitely think Antlers is looking for another portal out of Zelda, but ladder blocked on both counts there. He's unable to continue. He's headed toward Goma. This is where I really want to know if he did find that bow in Brinstar. If he did, he's able to defeat Goma and check another item. But at this point, I think we have all of the progression items we need. It would need to be Kraid's Totem or another Triforce piece for it to be worthwhile. Or a Heart Container, I suppose, since we're still trying to track down enough to get that last arrow. He's definitely after something here. He's killing these blue Wizrobes, and I'm not 100% sure why. No, it looks like he does not have the bow. Sis Crusher jumping into the very deepest recesses of Lower Norfair, only to find the disappointment that is the Skeleton Key. Darkerby is actually clearing out the Blue Lagoon. And His reward for clearing out the Blue Lagoon is the map for level 1. I'm a little worried about what Antlers is up to right now, because it looks like he's clearing these rooms for minor item drops, and the way the seed is set up, those minor item drops are not going to have anything important. Unless he's really looking for heart containers. I just realized that that might be his gamble here, because I'm pretty sure he's seen the arrows available for heart containers. That may be the 1000 IQ play. Is clearing all these minor rooms just to get the heart containers. Did we ever get to see where that other door outside of level 4, or the other door in level 4 that Dark Ruby found led? Also, fantastic bomb jumping play by Sis Crusher right there. Dark Ruby takes a death in level 8. Oh, because he has the ladder, he can just go into level 8 from the front. There's full of money and still doesn't buy the sword upgrade, so he's sticking with wood sword for the rest of the game, most likely. Who needs metal, anyway? Now, if he really is on the heart container rampage, though, that might be the sensible play, is not spending money on sword. Help me budget. Allocating 125 rupees for swords. My family is starving. Dark Ruby definitely clearing out every room of level 8. He just ridded that one room of Pole's voice manually with the white sword. And I'm realizing we still don't have a bow and arrow combination put together. The runners on the right have the bow, and the runners on the left have the arrows. Look like my stream froze for a little bit here. I'm going to try to refresh real quick, so be aware that I'm not able to keep up with the stream for just a moment. Alright, nice and... Looks like Dark Rupee's down quite a bit of his hearts and is playing it very safe with this Manhandla. No bombs. Does drink the potion. Sis Crusher goes back for the Zelda Compass, which I find a little interesting, since she hasn't moved. Now, Antlers cannot contain any more money. He's at max money. I don't know, I slightly criticize his choice, but he's very comfortable with low percent runs, so there's not a lot of pressure to pick up that white sword, and it was pretty costly. But at least personally, I don't like walking around with a full wallet. Because then you're just leaving a lot of money on the ground. Yeah, Dark Rupee being very meticulous, clearing out what I believe is a room full of dark nuts and Gibdos and bubbles. Eat My Steel is taking on Ridley. Yeah, very easy. He's completely safe until things start to thaw, which I guess they did. But as soon as he's got all the projectiles locked down, Ridley has no way of actually really posing a threat since he only hops up and down. I don't think Antlers has the recorder yet, which was in level 7. Which is a bit surprising this late. The recorder was a very early pickup for most of the runners. Mrs. Crusher getting deeper into Lower Norfair right now. I think this is the path that Antlers had to back away from because it didn't have anything important. Right, this just has a magical key. Or not a magical key, a regular key. Yep. A redundant hint for Antlers there about the line protecting the arrows. Those are the arrows that he's already found. Dark Rupee gets to up A before the money collector gets to collect the money. Yeah, Antlers is clearing out the Pole's voice with the wood sword and the magic rod, using that damage stacking to do extra damage to the Pole's voice. There, Siscrusher is actually digging to the lower elevator out of Norfair. I'm not sure if we've seen where that elevator leads. Not it comes. Oh yeah, we have. Oh, here's the back part of level 4. So he's doing it lateralus, which is where I think logic intended you to get to level 4. So it should be quick, easy checks. We can actually see what that Triforce room holds because Siscrusher doesn't have the very busy broken wooden floor tiles that Dark Rupee's Halloween sprite set has. It's the Kraid Totem. Okay, so both Dark Rupee and Siscrusher have the Kraid Totem now. And Siscrusher's about to get his 5th Dorito piece and allow him to potentially check level 9. I don't know if, well, since the hint about how many Triforce pieces are required is shuffled into one of the caves, it's very likely that we've seen it and I just missed it, but I don't know how many Triforce pieces are required to enter level 9. Level 4 is extremely waterlocked. Siscrusher does not have the magical key out of Kraid's hideout, but does have 11 keys now, which is, that's going back up to 12 if you can get through this room. Yep, and back down to 11 again. That's what I said earlier about how keys become no object even halfway through the race. And since we know where the Kraid Totem is, we are probably in no mode right now. We know where all of the components are. We don't know where Triforce piece number 7 is, but the requirement for getting into level 9 cannot be 8 Triforce pieces. So we know what all of the Triforce pieces that are necessary are, and we know where the silver arrows are, and all that remains is to have our runners put everything together. The question is, who will be able to put it together first? In fact, the only pieces of equipment that I don't think we've seen are the magical boomerang and the red ring. And that's it. That's all the equipment. We know where the magic sword is if our runners want to actually buy it. Oh, we don't know where red candle is, but who needs red candle anyway? I will have you know that in some seeds that are not accommodating with the offensive items, the red candle can be your best friend. Meg's, I believe, is 155 rupees. It's a bit of a tall order, for sure. It's somewhere in that ballpark. It's mid-100. Alright, Antlers is very carefully trying to set up this ice climb. Looks like he didn't get the second Ripper to spawn, which means it's going to be a stretch. What he really needs to do is he needs to free up an enemy spawn slot by killing one of the enemies lower down here, like that Ripper that's just idly going back and forth to the right. But he's intent on doing it the hard way, so guess we'll have to see that later. Well, I don't know. My steel's getting... Oh, he got it! Antlers was able to freeze the Waver at the very top of its arc, and now I'm not sure what he's doing, since he could have easily jumped up to the platform he was trying to get to. Yeah, shoot. Dark Rupee here in level 6 is not able to defeat the Goma because he wasn't able to go into level 8 enough to get the arrows that are necessary. Some people do exploit money-making game. I know I've seen Dark Rupee do save scumming on money-making game. Antlers did indeed free up one of those enemy slots so he could jump higher. Oh, that might not be high enough. What is kind of exciting here about Antlers, though, is that he does have Morph Ball bombs, which means he can check Morph Ball pedestal, which we haven't gotten a check for. Unfortunately, we do know that it can't be anything terribly exciting, and he just killed one of the Rippers that he needed to be able to jump up there. And the other Waver that might have been able there to help him got caught on the ceiling of one of the platforms and was unable to arise as high as it was before. Sith Crusher picks up triangle number 6, making him, I believe, the leader in Triforce Piece Collection. It's not going to be enough, but he might be able to get the other Waver to come up higher. I'm really invested in this ice climb that Antlers is trying to do. Especially because he had it and he threw it all away, and I'm not entirely sure why. Yeah, he's got it now. He just needs to... I'm so confused. Why is he not jumping to the platform? The lava platform. There's one tile in the lava that's solid that he can just jump to. Okay, so yep, there, it's right there, and I don't know why he hasn't been jumping to it. He just bonked into it while he was trying to transfer to that other Waver. I'm hoping that's not the case. Yeah, he should be able to get there from where he is right there. If he does a full jump... I'm so confused about this. He doesn't seem to know about that platform in the lava that he keeps rubbing up against. Sis Crusher is working through Norfair, Dark Rupee is working through level 6, and Yima Steel is going through Norfair as well. I think Sis Crusher's, yeah, he's been through this area of Lower Norfair. I don't know if there's anything novel up here for him to explore. Okay, Dark Rupee finds the Great Pumpkin and leaves the room, as many have done before him. He'll be on his way to the Magical Rod Cave. Alright, Antler's finally found that solid tile and jumped right on it. We're off to do a Morph Ball pedestal check. None of those need to be shot to be revealed. I believe it's 6 tiles up from the bottom is the hallway that he's trying to get into. It would definitely be best if he could freeze an enemy. Oh, where is that? Oh, there it is. Never mind. It is not the tile I thought it was. Not much easier, actually. You just needed to have high jump boots. Sis Crusher, without the any key, does pick up that skeleton key. Dark Rupee finds the book. Looks like he's trying to get it, but trying not to get hit by likes in the meantime. There he goes. That's the book for Dark Rupee. I didn't get to see what Antlers spent all that time trying to get. Shoot. Oh, it was rupees. Oh, all that work. He's not going to be happy with the ceiling if he opens that. Yeah, he's not a fan of the magic shield, so... Yima Steel finds the entrance to level 4 from the bottom of Norfair. That's going to be important for him, because the Kraid Totem is in here, which is necessary to get Naturian. Dark Rupee picks up the Ridley Totem from level 6. Or in his case, I guess the Succubus Totem, as that was the Halloween sprite swap. Ah, Antlers is on his way to the ladder. Here's payoff, finally, for that ice climb that Antlers had to go through. And there's the ladder. He should be getting the bow momentarily as well. Looks like Eat My Steel is on level 4 and picked up the raft item, which I forget what that was, but I remember it not being important. And may shortly be getting his Kraid Totem. Oh, Antlers missed the bow, but he's going to be defeating level 7, which has the recorder at least. But I fear that'll send him on a wild goose chase, because the recorder hasn't blocked anything important so far. So he got the recorder invisibly. I think he picked it up as soon as Aquamentus dropped it. Oh, no, Aquamentus drops the bait. It's the recorder's in the red candle room. Also, Eat My Steel is now fighting Gleeok. Defeats the Gleeok, gets Triforce piece number 5. And now Eat My Steel is leading the way in Triforce pieces and absolutely has enough to get into level 9. I think technically that positions Eat My Steel in the best place out of all of our runners. Oh, hey! You might still found that the elevator in Lower North Fair, even the hole is gone. So that's a cool improvement. I know that we've had elevator rooms where the elevator was disabled before, but it left a gaping hole that people would fall into and then die to lava damage. So it's very nice to see that that got paved over. Antlers is being a lot more meticulous about clearing level 7 now. Getting to see a bunch of these rooms that we hadn't gotten to see before. Lots of bomb holes, too. Looks like, no, never mind. Sis Crusher's Triforce pieces are tracked correctly. Yeah, my seal is working through level 8 now. I believe this means Eat My Steel is in a good position to be the first runner to have both a bow and an arrow. Finally, Antlers gets a recorder. He circled around the treasure room for such a long time. The arrows in level 8 are located in the Triforce room, so Eat My Steel needs to find the Gleeok, defeat it, and pick up the arrows from behind it. I think there is another way to get into the backside of level 8. It might be even necessary to get into the backside of level 8, because it's possible that level 8 is not fully traversable from one side. And that backside entrance to level 8 is in Kraid's lair, which is where Sis Crusher is right now. Yeah, if this wall doesn't blow, that wall did not blow, which means level 8 is not fully contiguous. It has to be entered from the backside. Looks like Antlers is also being very meticulous in how he's clearing level 7. Dark Rupee drops off the tots. I think we're going to see Sis Crusher take on Kraid shortly. He's also going to go through the larder? I don't know what you would call that hallway above Kraid. It's not really his attic, because his attic is in the upper right area of Kraid's hideout. There's any key for Sis Crusher. That one came too late for him, honestly. He has so many keys. Dark Rupee, are you gonna make this? Oh, he needs 4 more rupees to make this purchase. Oh, he wants to, but he can't. Oh, he's having some fun. Old man Scree's getting a face full of axe, looks like. Antlers has 5 energy tanks. That's plenty to go along with his Varia suit. Pretty sure any deaths he takes in Metroid are going to be intentional. Speaking of 5 energy tanks, Sis Crusher just completed his 5th energy tank. Eat My Steel ventures back into level 8. I think he's very determined to try to find a connection to the other part of level 8. There is a transport staircase in level 8, so it is entirely possible for another way to get into the backside of level 8 to exist. Sis Crusher might be having a little bit of difficulties here with Vanilla Kraid. Certainly getting bullied a bit. I mean, he's certainly not going to be in any danger of dying, but it's making it a little more difficult to land those shots. And there he goes. Kraid is down. Another 75 missiles in Sis Crusher's arsenal, and here's another 5 to top it off at 8. Oh, never mind, that was a rod behind Kraid. It was Ridley who was guarding another missile tank. Dark Group be warping all the way around Hyrule. I'm not sure what his game is here. He's in level 5. Oh, this is his first time into level 5. I didn't get to see if Eat My Steel... Oh, right. I was rooting for him to get the arrow out of level 8, but that was impossible from that direction. Now my money's on Antlers to be the first one to have both the bow and arrow. Since the bow is in Brinstar, there's Triforce piece number 1 for Antlers as well. Definitely getting to the part of the game where people are ready to go into level 9, but there's nothing important in level 9, so we won't have any early dives. They're only going to go into level 9 when they know that they can beat it. My steel wanders around the overworld with half a heart. Any stray shot from these Lionels can end him. That's a little bit better. Get some breathing room from a heart. Dark Rupee finds himself on the tea island of the tea room, with no way to get there except for clipping. Alright, that's bow for Antlers. Oh, you're right. Also, we have Red Candle, and Antlers says no to Red Candle. It's not worth it at this point in the game for all of the delay it takes to acquire Red Candle. As my girlfriend likes to remind me, that's 3.5 seconds of delay. And I mean that literally. It's not a euphemism. Triforce piece number 7 for Antlers. Two players are at 7 triangles, which is guaranteed entrance to level 9. It may as well be complete Triforce pieces for them. Unless they really want to be able to warp to level 5 or level 6. Dark Ruby is being very thorough in clearing out level 5. And the leader of the heart containers, that's still a very, very valid factor, is you need to have enough heart containers to pick up the second arrow upgrade. Is still only at 10. He's just now in the range where he could check to see if he has enough, but in order to be comfortable, he probably wants to have at least 12. In order to be certain, he will need to have 14. And like Metal Machine says in the chat, level 9 could have heart containers. So it could actually be a required level 9. Dive before you have silvers. Dark Ruby finally finds his Morph Ball! Sis Crusher's trying to get back to the Morph Ball pedestal, but he needs to do there he is, he got it. The full jump gets him into that vent. I'm actually pretty sure Antlers did see that other arrow location. He was definitely in that area. It's in the northeast corner of Hyrule, near the dead tree. And I know he's been up there. Plus, I believe he has been prioritizing heart containers, and regular Antlers would not care about heart containers almost at all. He'd be pretty comfortable just with 5, especially with Blue Ring. Like, that's enough heart containers to get him through. I would like to see how many heart containers are required to get that second arrow. So I'm really hoping Dark Rupee is able to check that sometime soon. If 10 is enough, then we're definitely in no mode. My Steel is now close to finding the entrance to level 8's backside. If he just goes to the left here, which he did, might have a second set of arrows and bow. Dark Rupee finds the hint, and Cyst Crusher finds the ladder. That hint that the lion contains the arrows is very helpful for Dark Rupee, who doesn't have any of his own. And I just realized that Cyst Crusher is exploring Brinstar. He probably will get the bow soon as well. Dark Rupee has a long straight 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of Triforce pieces, which is again technically enough to try getting into level 9. My Steel finds the blue ring in level 8. So satisfying to see those Pold's voices getting eliminated with just an arrow shot. Antlers showing off that you don't need bombs to beat Manhandla. My Steel showing off that you can defeat Gleeok if you just try. Get Screw Attack, and we'll be soon collecting the arrows. Did My Steel just leave level 8 without collecting arrows? Got the Screw Attack and decided that was good? Cyst Crusher brings his total Triforce count up to 7. By collecting Triforce piece number 1, just to be clear. That's going to be a huge setback for My Steel if he just left level 8 without collecting the arrows. I'm also a little confused how he got out of level 8 so fast, since that backside of level 8, you would have to go through Kraid's hideout, but he's back. Oh, did he? He downbeat. Also, Cyst Crusher finds the bow, the second to complete a bow and arrow set. I'm getting my wish. Dark Rupee is actually checking to see if he can pick up those arrows. Is it enough? It is not enough. Anders is putting those arrows to use, kills Goma. Syscrusher picks up the red can. Anders is probably going to try level 6's Goma shortly. Of course, you know and I know that Goma can't be hiding anything terribly important. But what Antlers doesn't know is that it doesn't have Kraid Totem or Triforce piece number 5. Syscrusher is actually the first to complete the Dorito. That is a full Triforce of Wisdom. Antlers picking up the Coast Heart Container. Brings his total up to 9. But we know that 10 is still not the right number. With the ladder in hand, he's able to clip into the back part of level 4, where he will get his Kraid Totem. This is an important development. Looks like Eat My Steel also picks up that Coast Heart Container, brings his total up to 10 to match Darker. Antlers goes away before he is taunted a second time. Syscrusher picks up the Magical Sheet. Looks like Eat My Steel is also going to check if that 10 is enough to get him the arrows. Looks like Eat My Steel is also going to be disappointed. And there's the crushing disappointment. Darker will be taking on the Succubus that has replaced Ridley in the Halloween pack. She can jump with such stiff knees. Find that pretty amusing. You try to jump without bending your knees. Truly, truly she is an opponent to be feared. And more missiles for Dark Ruby. Antlers finds himself in the bottom of Norfair. I don't think he wants to be here. Comes back into level 4. There's the Kraid Totem for Antlers. And actually, he will get Triforce piece number 5 for defeating Gliok here. So that'll be the second person to complete the Triforce of Wisdom. Yeah, we are actually really blocked right now by heart containers. I think that is the only thing that is keeping us from go mode. If only E-Tanks qualified for the heart requirements, because we have plenty of those to spare. Antlers drops off the tots. He has enough money to spend on the money. I'm a little curious to see if he does it. Oh, no, you're not. Get out of here, Hint. Oh, I thought he was going for it. No! I really wanted to see. I wanted to see if it was worth it or not. Sis Crusher, on the other hand, is taking on Mother Brain, which is probably a good play to make sure he's actually making progress. And 9 is not even possible to pick that up, Antlers, but it's worth the shot, I guess. Darker Key does not have the magic key, so he picks up that skeleton key. Antlers finally picks up a sword upgrade, 130 for that sword upgrade. I don't know if he's going to end up picking up the other one. But I think Antlers has realized that he has everything he needs. He has knowledge of where he needs everything he needs. And is a little more loose with the money. Yeah, the second one was only 71. Holy cow. So that's magic sword for Antlers. Suddenly just wham bam, thank you, ma'am. 2 sword upgrades in a row. And now he's in level 6. About to kill Goma, find what Goma's been hiding this whole time. Oh, he's definitely got a mission. He's making good time through level 6 real quickly here. Another heart container for Dark Groupie. That brings this total up to at least 11. And also Triforce piece number 8. Sis Crusher about to go to do battle with Mother Brain here. Now, Mother Brain's AI augmentation is completely separate from any of the other augmentation settings, so it is very possible that Mother Brain is augmented where the others are not. Looks like Goma was only hiding a blue boomerang. Which, well, for Antlers, I guess it's the wood boomerang, and he still didn't want that either, so... He's very good about not picking up trash, so... Must be the effects of picking up the Triforce of Wisdom so early. There's a heart container for sale. Now, I wonder if he's going to be noting all of the heart container sales that he finds. Antlers hadn't killed Digdogger in level 5 before, but now he has the recorder, so he's going to make that check. My Steel purchases that heart container upgrade that Antlers just found and left at the wayside. So that brings his total up to 11, just like Dark Groupie. So this Crusher's doing a very good job not getting hit by the Rinkas. I actually have to commend him for that. That's pretty well done. He's able to stun them right before they hit every time. Of course, a quick dip into the lava is also not off the menu. Very quick dispatching of Digdogger finds that skeleton key. My Steel gets yet another heart container from, I believe, a shop. Either a shop or a take any one you want. Looks like Dark Groupie's also up to 12 heart containers. They're both very close to being able to get that that arrow upgrade. And yeah, I can confirm, My Steel did not pick up the arrows from level 8 despite being one room away from them. He downbeat out of level 8 before he could pick up the arrows. That is really going to bite him. Looks like both Eat My Steel and Dark Rupee have decided to try with 12, which is the average amount for getting the arrow upgrade. They're hungry. They're so hungry. Also, Sis Crusher just defeats Mother Brain. So 1G for Sis Crusher, and nothing for Eat My Steel or Dark Rupee. Looks like it's a pretty easy Torian platform escape route today. 3 cycle. Only one semi-challenging jump, but there's plenty of alternatives if you find that jump too challenging. Looks like there's another 3 cycle if you wanted to take the left 3 platforms as well. So, nice variety. Antlers gets enough money to pick up that $100 heart container. Now he's technically within the realm of experimenting with picking up, even though we know the answer that 12 isn't even enough. G for Sis Crusher. G's in chat. Single G. Antlers is just as hungry for those silver arrows. We need at most 2 more heart containers than Dark Rupee or Eat My Steel have in order to pick them up. He jumped into Kraid's lair. Might be going to the backside of level 8, although I think he was there already. But there is a blue Goma back there that he can now defeat. And that might be his aim right now, because he's going to that door. I'm still not sure what his game was there then. Eat My Steel is freezing his way out of Brinstar's Kraid elevator area. That's a rough freeze. Oh, that's a rough freeze too, but he might actually be able to make that one work. And just not quite. So close. Sis Crusher's also on that heart container hunt. He's got the totems that he needs. Oh, he already beat Mother Brain. All he needs is the silver arrows, so everybody's looking for heart containers right now. This has to be pretty close to PED check in LTTPR. Except you know pretty early on what the prize is. You don't know what the requirements are, as opposed to knowing what the requirements are, but not knowing what the prize is. You love to hate to see it happen. Tons of cash for Antlers. Maybe that was what he was after in Kraid's hideout. But those tons of cash only help if you can find places to spend it. Maybe he knows of a few more shops that sell heart containers, because those are important here. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what it comes down to, is who actually took note of where the health was. If I remember right, the power bracelet blocked area south of the ferry in the center of the map in the forest has a heart container for sale. Sis Crusher is diving deep into level 7 to try to get something off the floor. And there's this going into level 9 for, yeah, here's that required level 9 dive without silvers. If it has heart containers, which it very well could, this might be the right play to do. Dark Rupee finds yet another heart container for sale for 100 rupees. That brings his total up to 13. Which means it can be either one more or he has enough. And from the way he's moving, I'm guessing he's going back to check yet again. I don't even know what to hope for. Should we put it on Mother Mystery or extend the pain? I kind of like to have the one that you tell stories about. I want this to be a 14 heart container required. Let's see. All right, Dark Rupee, can you pick it up? You can pick it up. 13 hearts. The nightmare is over. Well, the nightmare's boundaries are defined. Dark Rupee has yet to pick up the other arrow upgrade. I think he's taking a celebratory moment here. Anders is finding nearby areas to Ganon, but still hasn't found his way through. Not that he's actually trying to find Ganon, but it's just very interesting how often he's been in proximity to Ganon here. Dark Rupee's probably won in his heart by being able to pick up that arrow. That's a win already. Sis Crusher is diving into level 3. Maybe there was not full clear here? But I don't think that there was anything left on the floor that Sis Crusher needs to be here for. But Antlers is probably full clearing every room he comes across just to try to track down that heart container. With a magic sword, this makes it real easy. That was an E-tank. So, I'm pretty sure he's actually maxed out his E-tank capacity right now. Map for Dungeon 4. You know, that's something you want to see in level 9. Vires apparently have too much health to be destroyed with the magic sword. EMI Steel is still picking up a few things from Brinstar, it looks like. Dark Rupee is going to be depositing an arrow into Goma's face. Wham bam, thank you, man. Sis Crusher was the one to kill Mother Brain. And there's this really crawling all over level 9. So far, it has bore no fruit. I'm really excited to see what Dark Rupee does with this opportunity now, after destroying Goma. Looks like he's going into level 8 to go after the blue Goma. I think he's got that hint. He knows the silvers are here in the lion, but he can't get them from this side, and it looks like he hasn't been in the other side of level 8. Still no hearts for antlers. Darkruby really wants to be able to get through this diagonal room and find his way into the other side of level 8. But it's just not happening. Gotta get there from Kraid. Looks like My Steel is headed for the Morph Ball pedestal check. Was also confused by this wall. Apparently, it's very easy to confuse this wall with a different one that looks very similar and has a Morph Ball tunnel that's about 5 or 6 blocks high from the ground. Darkruby finds the blue pumpkin and leaves? Question mark? He only has 4 rupees. Ah. Poor Darkruby doesn't have enough money to shoot out the Goma. At the very least, Antlers can say he's doing progress in the form of figuring out how to get through level 9. That's not nothing. Even if he can't find any heart containers in here. And just going off of process of elimination alone, we know that at most level 9 can only have 3 heart containers, and that would be just enough to get him into the threshold of being able to get the silver arrows. Ah, speaking of heart container, he was able to get 1. So, not fruitless at all. Plus, gaining money here isn't nothing either. Especially if he can find more shops that are selling heart containers. We're 2.5 hours into this, so I imagine they're getting a little frayed. This is starting to get a little deep. Looks like Darkruby's doing a bit of a shop tour again. I'm not sure what he's looking for, especially when he only has 4 rupees to his name. Siscrusher also trying to deposit the arrows in Goma's eye. This room does not make it easy. Missile pack is not something he's particularly interested in. Antlers finds the red ring. Makes him a lot more protected, but it doesn't really help him get the heart requirement. If only he only had to endure damage to get the requirement, that would be it. Well, these runners are really chasing down the last leads they can possibly find. I'm not sure where Darkruby believes he's headed, but maybe he was just trying to get into Metroid, because this is one of the faster ways to get there. What's interesting is Antlers still hasn't found the way to get to Ganon. This whole seed has been pretty twisty, and level 9 is no exception. My Steel is going on to take on Mother Brain to be the second one to destroy her. Antlers has quite a bit of level 9 already uncovered. Oh, that Metroid managed to eat my steel just as he came around the corner. And there's trying again with, what is that, 11 hearts? Yeah, that's not enough. So Crusher picks up an extra magical shield? Review reveals a magical shield in the ceiling. Seems to show no interest in actually picking it. Mestiel is kind of low on energy. He might want to consider destroying some Metroids to replenish. He's coming into the home stretch here. This is a pretty popular farming spot for Metroids. And just like that, this is exactly what he's doing. Farming Metroids here at the ye old farming spot. With the fast door transition, it changes how someone can attract Metroids and kind of disrupts the triple hat strategy. But that is plenty of E-tanks. Little skimpy on missiles, but technically possible. Though I do not blame him for trying to get some more missiles. That's looking much better at 87. That should carry him through. We're being a little more, there we go. Plenty of missiles. And Antlers, after having checked, is back here in level 9, trying to find more heart containers, or possibly the way to Ganon. And all Dark Groupie needs, he needs to go to the backside of level 8 through Kraid's lair, which means it's important that he finds his way into Kraid's lair for, I believe, the first time, because I don't think he's been there before. Then he will get his screw attack and silver arrows. Ema's still making pretty good time through the Zebatites. Although time is in exchange for health in this situation. Taking a fair bit of damage from the Rinkas. They're not homing, so they're not particularly dangerous, and he's got plenty of energy to spare, so I think that's a fair trade-off to go for time. This is a speed run, not a health run. Although I can't blame you for being confused after how this seed has been playing out. Looks like Vitreous is the boss that Eat My Steel is fighting. Bit of an untimely hint there deep in level 9. The hills shelter the Morph Bomb. Dark Groupie has found Kraid's lair. This is an important step in his road to finding silver. Ema Steel's having a bit of a hard time here. Does he not have the Varia suit? It's hard to tell with his sprite set, but it is entirely possible he doesn't have the Varia suit, which does make this quite a bit harder and a little more deadly to be in the lava. "32 missiles delivered straight into the eyeball is all it takes to defeat Mother Brain." If the Rinkas aren't homing, I'm pretty sure that means Mother Brain's not healing. So it's just going to be a raw 32 dump. Dark Ruby picks up the magical key in Kraid's lair. Looks like he hasn't found that doorway into the backside of level 8 yet. And there goes Vitreous. Still just needs to do a pretty leisurely escape. Plenty of time, pretty easy platforms. Should be on his way out momentarily. Dark Ruby ups his energy tank count to 5. The nice thing about Patras is that once you kill them, they're gone for good. Even My Steel opts for the different 3 cycle from the other one, taking the left path. Gets out of Torian real easy. Dark Ruby taking on the Ghost, who just replaced Kraid. One G for Even My Steel, who has fulfilled his mission. This room that Antlers is in is the Silver Arrows room, I believe. So it will be a treasure room, and it may have a piece of equipment or a heart container or something nice. Or it can just have a key, and nobody cares about the key. My Steel is on the start screen. Looking for part containers, I'm pretty sure. Wow. Antlers has to have found the entrance to Ganon, because he's gotten into every room on every side of Ganon, so I'm pretty sure he knows the way through level 9 at this point, and there's only, like, what, 2 rooms that he hasn't visited yet? Aside from Zelda and Ganon? So Scrusher is also scraping for heart containers. He's only 1 heart container away from being able to pick up the silver arrows and be in go mode. Nobody has silvers yet. That's another interesting note. We know how to get them, but nobody's put that together yet. So we are technically not in go mode for anyone yet, since they don't know how to get silvers. Sis Crusher picks up the magical sword for 130 rupee. Level 5 has plenty of slots to check. Pretty sensible move for Sis Crusher to end up there. Now Dark Ruby needs to find that exit to level 8. That's where it really comes together for him, but he's still not going there, so it'll be a little bit yet. It looks like he might be interested in going to fight Kraid. Yeah, this looks like he found something that he wanted to go back and check, but I didn't think he picked up a heart container. I think he's already checked with Levin, so maybe he was just checking for money? Well, the seed name to generate this was Hold My Beer, and I think it's doing a pretty good job of illustrating why. But making this an incredibly elaborate seed. Darkerby finds his way into the backside of level 8, picks up the blue ring. It definitely seems like Darkerby is the closest to being in go mode right now. He just has to get into the backside of the room with the Gleeok, or defeat the Gleeok. Depending on which one he does first, he may walk out of here with or without Screw Attack. Yeah, it looks like Eat My Steel is turning over all of the stones, trying to find shops that are selling heart containers. Darkerby is using the transport staircase to try to get to a different part of level 8. And now I can finally see how level 8 was pieced together. Looks like it was in 3 pieces. Or not, actually. It looks like the transport staircase leads to the same section in level 8. My steel's down to combing the beaches. I'm sure they're revisiting all of the caves that they've been in before because they didn't think to mark which caves had health available. Who knew it would be so important, right? Darkerby finds Gleeok before he finds the Triforce room, which means he's going to probably fight and get the Screw Attack. That is, if his stream would unfreeze. It looks like there's been a lockup on Darkerby's stream. Steel finds the heart container that is necessary, but doesn't have the cash for it. Also has the full Triforce of Wisdom as well, so Triforce Piece 7 has been collected. It looks like Antlers is going to take on Mother Brain also. That is one determined Metroid, just following Antlers. Shoot, I was all ready to be super excited when Darkerby picks up the silver arrows, but it looks like the stream is not cooperating. My Steel's probably trying to mine for money. It looks like he's using a technique to spawn a bunch of blue Tektites, which are a pretty safe bet for collecting money, all in all. They're one of the easier ways to collect money in the overworld, and this might be faster than the rope method that Antlers was putting into play. Plenty of missiles, plenty of energy. Antlers is ready to go. Looks like he could always use a little more. Oh, he's collecting quite a TF2-sized collection of hats, so that might not play out so well. Here's MB. Syscrusher going on a tour of Norfair, trying to get more heart containers. That's really the question on everybody's mind. Where are the heart containers? Aside from Dark Rupee. Oh, Dark Rupee is back with us. I am relatively certain that Dark Rupee is making the climb to MB and is in go mode. When we last left Dark Rupee, when the stream was disconnected, Dark Rupee was fighting the four-headed Gleeok right before the room with the silver arrows. So, of all of our runners, Dark Rupee is actually the only one legitimately in go mode. Antlers and Syscrusher both need one more heart container, and Eat My Steel is working up the money to... actually has the money to go buy the heart container if he wants to. Not sure if he realizes he's past the threshold or not. Nah, he's just gonna continue farming. I mean, it's an attractive lifestyle, you know? You work the land, you... one with nature. Antlers has defeated Mother Brain in blisteringly fast speed. Single G for Antlers coming in. Here comes the easy Taurian climb. Let's see which section he takes. Looks like it's going to be the left one. Dark Rupee's here in Taurian as well. I'm liking those Metroid sprites on Dark Rupee. That's single G for Antlers. Good job for reviving peace in space. Right, Dark Rupee's dropped down into the final hallway area, but has a bit of a need for... I don't know, he's probably just fine with as much energy as he has, but unforeseen circumstances, you never know. Of course, mining the Metroids on the way into Mother Brain's room should probably give him plenty. Eat My Steel is still dedicated to farming. I think he's gonna wait until the noise that plays when he picks up rupees from the Tektykes is no longer telling him that you have more money. It's kind of an impressive dedication to farming. Of course, I guess he has no way of knowing that that last heart container is the only one he needs. It's possible that he knows where 2 heart containers are and he's planning on buying them both before going to the arrow. Dark Rupee's down with 2 Zebatites. And 3 Zebatites. I've just been talking to myself because I forgot to push the push to talk button. And there's Syscrusher is here in level 9. We know that there's at least one heart container in level 9, which might be his key to go mode. Dark Rupee deposits those missiles into Mother Brain in a very steady pace. Should be over very quickly. That is, unless the Rinkas have something to say about it. Which too frequently they do. That's it. That's Mother Brain. And there's this back here in level 2 in need of 2 heart containers. Eat My Steel has finally stopped farming at 234 rupees. Probably making his way to the heart container shop. But the question may remain, does he check when he only gets 1, or is he buying 2? Dark Rupee completes his ascent out of Torian. That is 1G in chat for Dark Rupee. Do be aware, though, that Dark Rupee has only saved space for a limited amount of time. It may be invaded by the other Metroid. Eat My Steel purchases that final heart container. And since he's not making a beeline back... Oh, yeah, he's blowing the recorder. He's going straight back. Syscrusher traverses all over level 9, looking for that magical heart container. Yeah, looks like Eat My Steel's purchasing that sword upgrade. Maybe that's what he was farming for. So there's mags for Eat My Steel. And I think he checked the arrows, because he was certainly next to the arrows. I don't know why he wouldn't have picked up the... Oh, is that not silver for him? Well, it should be silver, isn't it? If it's not silver, then rip Eat My Steel. Oh, Antlers is really trying to get this heart container situation unlocked. It's very interesting. His low percent instincts have betrayed him in this seed. I would imagine it is silver, being that Eat My Steel jumped straight into fighting Ganon. What I'm curious about here is Dark Rupee. Back in Metroid, I was pretty sure he was in Gomo, but I don't know why he's back here in Metroid. Yeah, oh, right. We thought Eat My Steel left level 8 without the wood arrows. That's right. Might need to double check that, actually, because I think he really did leave level 8 without the wood arrows, so... Oh, true, we don't actually know the requirements to enter level 9, and it's possible that Dark Rupee needs 1 more Triforce piece. 7 is the maximum amount that he will absolutely need, though. So... it is entirely possible that he's not in Go mode. Maybe he did actually try entering level 9 and was rebuffed by the door guard. So, I might have to take it back. It might be Eat My Steel is the only one in Go mode. And everybody has killed Mother Brain at this point. And yes, he does have silver arrows. I just saw them pop up on his equipment tracker there. Or not tracker, but his rotation as he was cycling through to find the potion. Sis Crusher, on the other hand, not so lucky. Oh, this is going to be a seed to talk about once it's over. It's just really interesting. I really think it came down to Antlers trying for low percent strats, and that low percent strat ended up being very, very harmful. Darker P stops to pick up the red candle. I believe Eat My Steel can hear Ganon. I'm actually keen on switching the audio over. Give me 1 sec. Okay. Let's jump into Eat My Steel's audio track. Dark Rupee picks up Triforce piece number 7, joins Eat My Steel in Go mode. And Eat My Steel finds the room, I believe, right next to Ganon here. Yep, just walks past that Patra, jumps right into the room. Oh, am I wrong? Wrong column, perhaps? Here's Ganon, or here's large Metroid baby, maybe. And gets the stun lock. No problem. That's GG for Eat My Steel. No need to hunt Zelda down. She's not shuffled anywhere crazy. And that's GG. With an official SRL time, 3 hours, 2 minutes, and 38 seconds. Very congratulations to Eat My Steel. Meanwhile, Dark Rupee is definitely breathing down their necks. Sis Crusher and Dark Rupee are both looking to complete their game right now. Sis Crusher does not have enough heart containers to get the silver arrows, so it looks like the real competition here is Dark Rupee. Let's see if we can get Eat My Steel in for an interview. GG Eat My Steel.
Thank you. A little better than last week.
Yep, you got first place as well, which is this the first time you've come in first?
It's the first time I've come in first against Antlers. So
Oh, well, that's entirely fair.
kind of.
And I think this seed in particular was kind of Antlers' bane, because he likes to go for low percent, and that doesn't really help you when the silvers are locked behind a 13 heart requirement.
Oh, he just FF2.
Yep, looks like Dark Rupee is fighting Boar's Head Ganon here, so second place is about to get locked. This is a surprisingly close race. 3 hours before we got a first place finish. Oh, looks like Antler's forfeit. It's a bit of a shame. Looks like he's still playing it out, but forfeiting? And Dark Rupee has just entered done in a second place with a time of 3 hours, 5 minutes, and 21 seconds. GG Dark Rupee. All right, it's down to Six Crusher now for third place. But yeah, so I suppose I should also ask him. I don't know if we should wait for Dark Rupee to get in, because if he wants in, then we can ask together. But did you think of anything fun about this scene?
I like this scene. I don't know. I mean, it was kind of long and convoluted. Outside of having all those hearts and not getting the arrows finally, it's like, oh. And then I was kind of panicked because I had to go back, and I knew there was one shop where I found a heart. And I was just like, well, I'm not buying that, obviously, before I found those arrows. And it's like,
oh, yeah.
Go back and look for that. Otherwise, I actually kind of liked how this seed went. It was like one thing kind of led to another, and it was kind of neat how you had to route everything. I don't know. I kind of liked this one. It was kind of fun.
Yeah, especially the convoluted way to get into the backside of level 8 by going through Kraid. I don't know, I thought that was a neat touch. So, we're joined with Dark Rupee, so GG for second place. Oh, that's Antlers. That is not Dark Rupee. Sorry about that. I just heard the ding, and it was right on time for when Dark Rupee would have joined, so I didn't even check. It's Antlers. What's the thing you say? GG for forfeit?
Yeah, no, GG, eat my steel.
GG.
I don't know where they were. I could only ever find, I think 11. I think 11 was what I had when I forfeit, and I looked in every single, like, I cleared every single room of every single dungeon in Zelda. I have no idea where they were. I'm pretty sure I full cleared Metroid as well, but I have no idea.
Did you find the one in 9?
Yes.
See, I got all of mine before I went to 9, and I found that one after I had to search all over for a shop that I missed, and then grind up the cash for the $100 for the other heart. And then I went in there. There's one just sitting on the floor. Is crap. I
got the one. I got the one in the shop as well. I have no idea where I missed one. How many did you have? Or how many did it take to get the silvers, I guess I should add.
That was 13 to get the silvers.
Okay, so I was still 2 away.
Yeah, 2 away.
Yeah, no idea.
There were a few shops
7.
that were selling. There was one that was the Vanilla Start location, which I think you picked up. And then there was one in the forest on one of the 2 bush burning screens, just north of the, like, shoreline area.
Yeah, I bought 4 hearts out of the shops, dude.
Oh, wow. Well, that's where I missed them then. I just remember the one. I don't usually mark where hearts are in shops, so I did not realize I found that.
Yeah, I wondered how much your low percent instincts ended up backfiring.
Oh, so that's what happened, huh?
Yeah, a lot this seed, it would seem.
I was wondering why Antlers is...
GG for second place, Dark Rupee, by the way.
Yeah, GG. I had some internet problems. I'm sure y'all probably saw that, though.
But
yeah,
the
stream
stream
dropped out a few times. Okay. Well, thanks for
I'll
joining
go
us.
and let you guys talk to the people who actually finished the seed.
Oh, man.
Get some sleep. But thanks for the commentary at the restream, as always, and the tracking. That's about all I have to say about that seed. Couldn't find the hearts.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, thanks for joining us, and have a good night. So, Dark Rupee, how did you feel about this seed?
I was expecting craziness, and I was surprised not to see craziness.
Not to see craziness, you say?
And aside from that last Triforce, I was in go mode for quite a while. I knew where the arrows were on every heart shop I came across, just for whatever reason. Like, I usually don't do that.
Looks like Yubastiel's having some trouble with push to talk, so yeah, we'll just focus on Dark Rupee for now until it gets sorted out.
I also had to go AFK for a few times because stuff in the middle of my race.
Yeah, I noticed a few pauses there. They were thankfully short this time.
Yeah. Family decided to go to KFC among other places, so I had to help them with that.
Oh my god! Legitimately KFC break, huh?
I mean, so I couldn't go with them. So I was like, oh, well, we'll just get some sporting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I figured out my push to talk problem. It wasn't on. How about that?
Well then.
Well, I'm. Say everybody wasn't called away.
What was that? You were cutting out quite a bit.
I said I wonder how much time I would have saved called away.
It's considerable. You finished pretty close to Eat My Steel, and I think without those breaks, that might have made the difference.
Well, I took two short breaks myself, and then right at the end, I ground money to buy mags too. So.
Oh, I did want to point out, I liked your grinding method. It was a little bit better than what I saw other players employing. A lot of the other players were doing level 2 grinds, but the ropes were 2 rooms deep. So they would go 2 rooms deep, fight the ropes, then have to up A and start over 2 rooms away from where they were going. But you were doing blue tektite mining in the screen left of Spectacle Rock, which I thought was a little bit more accessible since you didn't have to move screens.
Yeah, that was nice. It's just able to keep up and right at that screen and keep popping out and infinite money pretty much.
You have no idea how much I wanted to do that 2-screen money making game.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I'll need it, so not this time. I can get, but I was like, oh well.
I think it bears mentioning, Sis Crusher does have the red ring and the silver arrows now and is entering level 9, so we might have our 3rd place finish here very shortly.
Oh, where do you get red ring?
Oh my gosh, I can't even remember. I think it might be here. It might be in level 9. No, it's not because...
In
8 was the ring I found where you had the hint for that.
I got the hint to silver is relatively early, so I was like, oh, well, I'll just have to go back to level 8. But then segmented.
Most people's silvers was that heart container requirement, the Mag's Cave. Alright, Sis Crusher is fighting Ganon already, so yeah, we've got one coming in pretty hot here.
I saw that, I actually found that the arrow requirement cave early, or I think I saw that first. So I couldn't pick up because I had like 6 hearts when I came across it. So I was like, well, it's important. I'll mark it down.
That's GG for Sis Crusher as well, with an official SRL time of 3 hours, 14 minutes, and 18 seconds. Definite GG.
At least everyone finished at the same time. Oof,
Yeah, this
sorry
was a
about that.
very close finish for a 3-hour plus seed, really.
Well, sub 3 hour if I didn't have those hiccups
Yeah. Welcome, Sis Crusher. GG.
being called away.
GG, guys.
GG, Sis Crusher.
Hey, GG, man.
I like that Meg's cave.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that, I knew I was in big trouble because I don't full clear levels, and if you're a person that full clears like minor item rooms to get for items, then you're gonna find hearts. And I was like, oh boy, now I gotta go back and clear all these.
Yeah, I looked at the flags and I was like, I'm not gonna full clear the dungeons, but some of the bosses had like minor items, so I was like, well, shoot, I guess they will now. Pick up the dongle on level 2 and reward with a heart, I think.
Yeah, I think I full cleared all the levels except for I couldn't remember where the top half of 7 was. I was looking for that before I did 9, but I couldn't remember.
7.
I didn't write it down.
Oh, I loved how Aquamentus in level 7 had the bait. That made me smile.
Thought that was pretty fun. The tots were in the other part of the dungeon.
Yeah.
I was gonna forfeit if that heart wasn't gonna do it because I couldn't remember where Sept them. The only thing I had left was like a few rooms in 7, and I don't know, there must have been heart containers somewhere else. I don't know. But...
There were about 6 heart containers on the overworld that were candle blocked or bomb blocked.
Yeah, I may have left some. I did mark the shop ones. I'm glad I did, but there may have been a couple more on the overworld that I didn't get.
In Metroid. But yeah, I actually marked all the heart caves I came across for no reason. Like I was saying earlier, I don't normally do that.
Just happened to fall in line with the seed's expectations.
Yeah. But I don't think the combat is really messed me up too much, except for I did notice that my sword wasn't killing bats in one hit. Oh no, it wasn't killing something in one hit. I forget.
Vyres would not die from a magical sword hit like they normally would.
There's bombs on them, and I was like, my bombs are nerfed.
Yeah, red darkness rolled up too.
I don't think weapon damage was randomized, but enemy HP was.
Enemy HP was. Well,
I think the damage that enemies did was varied too.
Yes, that's correct. Damage was varied both in Metroid and in Zelda.
Yeah, but I mean, in Metroid you have missiles, so it doesn't really matter. Everything, just about.
Oh, I remember early on, Ema still didn't have missiles for a very long time in Metroid.
Oh god, yeah, that was the worst part of that early seed. Because I'd get into stuff from Metroid, and I was like, oh, I don't have missiles, jeez. I had to go back and redig a lot.
Yeah, and how about that morph ball pedestal too? Like the room that was blocking there, that what people thought was a morph ball tunnel, but was a standing tunnel. Like that tripped people up a lot.
Wait, where was that? In Metroid?
Yeah, on the way to Vanilla Morph Ball pedestal, like going up from the ice climb out of the like Kraid's elevator shaft into the Vanilla Brinstar start. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was an ordeal too, seeing everybody trying those the ice climb there.
I actually enjoyed that. But let me see.
I actually went around the ice climb. I was like, I'm sick of it, and I just went back through one, came out the other side of Brinstar, and came back that way. And then I thought I jumped up there and it threw it, and I was like, what the heck? So I never got.
What did I do? Well, one thing I did is I forgot where I marked Craig's hideout, so that was like I did spend like 10 minutes looking for it, even though it was like right in the center. I was like, oh, it's right there. I marked it, number 2 because it's the second area you usually go to. Oh, very early, I bombed Death Mountain. I'm not sure if anyone else did that, but like as soon as we started, I bombed Death Mountain.
Yeah, you were the only player that did that exploration. Everybody else basically was following the exact same route through level 1 to Brinstar to level 1.
Yeah. Few deaths because I was stubborn. I wanted to Ridley's hideout, but I found level 2 probably first, so that was cool.
Yeah, I was in 2 pretty early too. I just had enough health when I first went down there. I barely made it alive down there, and that kind of actually opened things up a little bit after I found it.
Yeah, I died 6 times trying to go down there to level 2. But I found the wave and I came back to back, so that was pretty cool. I think I picked up everything I came across.
It was interesting to see how Norfair got segmented too. There were a lot of doors in and out of Norfair.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I had stopped for a while because I honestly wasn't sure which places or what. That's when I was trying to look for Craig's hideout. Because I was like, oh shoot, how did I get back there? Because I know I was there. I just forgot where.
Then it ended up being important for getting into level 8. Into the segmented level 8.
Yeah.
Oh, Crusher, where did you find that other ring?
This Crusher never tells.
Our tracker says it was a 9, and I believe him. So
Screw attack blast. There.
what's that?
Did anyone get the letter?
Oh yeah, everyone got the letter. I think you needed the letter in order to
I
buy enough
didn't.
heart containers. Oh, okay. Well, maybe not then.
No.
There was definitely a heart container that was in a potion shop.
Well,
Okay,
I figured it was something. Yeah, I found 6 heart containers. I think 5 of them were under a burn vanilla level 3, I think, or maybe not.
I don't know if you guys heard me. The one ring was in level 8. One of them was in its vanilla spot.
Oh, wait, really? Vanilla spot? Oh, it's
Yeah.
level 9.
I went through that room. I never went in that stair. I was like, it's an item. I don't need it.
But yeah, I thought the sea was pretty cool.
That's 2 in favor of this seed. So
I thought it was good. I just didn't
not
play
too
it. I just gotta keep track of those hearts. But I'm not gonna play every seed like I got a full clear it though. It just happened to be this way this time, and well, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
But I was waiting for
guess
Dark
cool.
Ruby to finish first, and Antlers. I didn't think he was gonna finish first because I know how he flies through the seeds.
Well, I mean, I would have, but I had internet trouble, and not only that, when I had beat the game, it kind of took a while because I had to reload everything, or at least I had to reload the IRC.
Yeah, I saw you got booted out of there.
Yeah, and of course I was called away a few times. That's probably about maybe 10 minutes ish, maybe altogether. There's also that, but I'm fine with how it played out. GG's on you might still for getting first.
GG's.
Yeah, thank you, GG guys.
So, any last remarks, or shall we close this down?
Well, that's it for me. I'm gonna go eat KFC because, yeah, one of the reasons why I had to AFK because my family come help us bring the KFC in. So I sort of put them up to it.
Well, thanks for the restream and the commentary and the tracking.
Who's
And
track-
behind the scenes.
That's right, and thanks everybody for watching. Speed Gaming for hosting us, Rithrin for the tracking, myself, FFSzilla, and Dark Groupie, Sis Crusher, Antlers, and Eat My Steel were our runners tonight. Please give them a follow. And we don't have anything else on the Speed Gaming docket, so we'll see you guys next week for the next round. Thank you, and good night.